This is Jess and Taylor with Ensemble, and today we're going to show you 3 thicknesses, 3 halo lengths on short, thick hair. So if you've seen Taylor's hair otherwise, you know that it's very full. She has dream short hair, but she likes to wear a halo. So how do we do that? So this first one is our extra full. A lot of us, when we're talking about how to blend thick hair or short hair, we're kind of going between a few different scenarios. And the extra full sounds like it's going to be so much hair, and that doesn't make sense for me. But when you see it on her, it's the only thing that makes sense to add this much length. Her hair lands about there, and to blend it, we needed to see a lot of thickness right here to transition. So a lot of you ask, how does the back work? So when you're sectioning your hair to do a thick halo to add length, you're gonna put just a little bit on top, as little hair as possible. And then when we're styling it, she just has her front curled and her back is almost straight. So I wanna show you that. We're adding, my goodness, 8 inches. So this top layer, look at the ends. It's just curled under, I mean, barely bended at all, just so it runs into the curl. Because if your hair was this long, you wouldn't have tight curls sitting up really high. This is where it would be landing, and this is where the curl would start. So we don't want to worry about curling our hair, and that actually makes it a lot easier when you're trying to blend into a longer length halo. So see how much we could add layering through here. If it's the lighter weight ones, I don't have as much hair to work with. So we need all this thickness here to transition and cut all those layers in to do that. So same rules apply if we're adding this much length and it's longer. I still prefer to grab an extra full thickness, but on short hair, she can add this much length as long as this is what we're doing. We're gonna go progressively shorter so you can see what that looks like, but first, the extra full. So here's a glimpse of her hair. Structurally, she has fine hair, but a lot of it. The way that my hair is, I have so much volume here and then it just kind of disappears in the ends. Her hair sits more flat, she gets so much thickness through here. Like we could texturize her hair for days just in these sections. But when you have extensions, that's a little bit tricky to work with. So how we structure the halo, how we cut it, what length we're going with really matters, and making sure that it's custom colored to the right color makes all of this so much easier. Okay, so this is the full. This is a shorter length than the last one, about 2 inches or so. Taylor also wears a short wire. So if you have a small head, and you know you have a small head, usually it's if you've bought hats before and you're like, oh, I need like almost a kid size, or I'm in between a kid and adult size, we definitely want to do a short wire. We've done that with Taylor many times, and it makes all the difference for the placement to look right, for it to feel comfortable. And when you place it, you also just use your comb. There's no hooks on this, or no clips. So we're just gonna comb your hair from out and around the wire, like so, on both sides. As you get a little bit closer to your length, and this is really just rules for short hair, you can put a little bit more curl in your hair. So this, flippin' cute, I'm obsessed. So you can add a little more curl, a little more volume. Love that. I mean, I love your hair naturally too, but I love this. Okay, so this is like a medium length. This gives her, I don't know, 4 inches, 3 to 4 inches. And when I say that, 3 to 4 inches, you're like, when we're in consults, that sounds like a lot. Does it look like a lot? No, it still looks like a beautiful medium length. But because of where the full has its weight and the length that we're going for, this is enough. So here's the front. And lengthwise, this one has been cut at a slight angle so that it doesn't scoop so much in the back. So it's 13 inches in the front, 12 inches in the back. The other one was 16 inches in the front, 14 inches in the back. So cutting things at an angle helps with that look to not scoop in the back. If you like the scoop, totally fine. If you're like, oh, I feel like I might have a mullet look because my hair's so short, then we can cut it at an angle and that eliminates that. It also gives us more thickness in the middle here to cut those transitional layers. Full effect. Gorgeous. Okay, so this is the full thickness, a good medium length for her. Now we're gonna go with a natural and just show thickness, because that's more a staple that all of us, when we're first getting into halos, we want something just for fullness, maybe a little bit of length, and that's what her natural is. Okay, this is her natural halo. First of all, look at how cute this thing is. So this has a 3-inch angle difference. I mean, what do we even do in the back? Is that 8 maybe, or shorter?
I think it was 7 to 10.
7 inches in the back. So when we're consulting, I'm gonna ask you for a front measurement, and then depending on how straight or slightly angled this needs to look, it'll be a 2 to 3 inch grade, or a 1 to 3 inch grade really, of how angled it is, because it doesn't look like this. When it's on your head, it looks like that. So it's sitting straight. So that's why we asked. Okay, this is just her fullness halo. I'm sure a lot of you are thinking she already has a lot of fullness, but
I love it.
It's never too much, okay? And you know when you're really trying to drive home that full look, might as well. So this one is super lightweight. This just gives her volume, just adds to her existing style. This is obviously easy to wear. Maybe this is for summer halo. Lots of scenarios. But when you have a collection, you'll start to find reasons to get more, you know? But it just gives her a lot of volume with her natural shape. Another thing to notice, they were all colored just a little bit differently. So when we're going with your same length, in general, we can go very dimensional. If you want to just maybe go with a solid color or just subtle highlights, depending on what you're working with, then we can do that. If you're adding a lot of length, we can transition into a lighter color because we have more length to work with to create that gradient of color. So this is lighter than her hair, but when it was in, it transitioned really nicely. This one that was right in the middle had a good amount of dimension, good amount of highlights, pretty even, and the one she's wearing is definitely darker. So 3 thicknesses, 3 different lengths, 3 different scenarios. If you want to build a collection, now you see why. If you haven't heard of Ensemble, we do all this virtually. Our specialty is custom coloring, cutting so that it's perfect for you, but we do it online through photos, and then we ship it to you ready to go out of the box. So your stylist doesn't have to do anything. It's a little too easy. So go to ensemblehair.com, click to inquire. We can reach out to you directly and go from there.